Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and thanks for stopping by. Our dedicated team will guide you through with the latest updates and theories at Starbase, Texas. To the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for future streams.
9, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone to Starbase Weekly, episode number 205. As you can tell, a little bit different voice this week. I'm Matt. Great to see you guys. And today we have Alex with us. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, all. It's going to be a fun show like usual.
Oh, heck yeah. We got Todd today as well.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun week. Great pictures. It's going to be a good time.
Should be, for sure. We've also got Josh with us in the background. Hey, Josh.
Hey.
And Darth, too.
Howdy there.
So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a crazy one. This will be my first time, so just be easy on me in the chat if you don't mind. We're going to get into it, and hopefully we'll be able to show you all the changes and upgrades and everything since last week. So, as always, I think we're going to start over at Massey's. So, starting in the back of Massey's, over in the COPV area, we can see there is a set of COPVs undergoing testing right now, and interestingly wrapped up in its Sunday best, it looks like. We haven't really seen this before that I'm aware of. Have either any of you guys seen that like that?
Yeah,
I haven't. I'm kind of curious as to what they think that's going to do, but I don't remember seeing anything like that around the COPV's testing.
Yeah,
I remember seeing these wrapped in the blue tarps previously. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know if it's specifically to try to contain something or I don't know, but pretty interesting little change there that we don't see often.
I mean, if they're just using water for doing their pressure test, it'll at least keep everything from getting a quick little shower since it's such a dry climate there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little weird for sure. I mean, I guess just in case something pops, it kind of contains the water a little, but I can't see anything around here needing to worry about water.
Blue tarps, Florida. Wait, we're in Texas. Never mind.
Same difference.
Right?
Just a bit, just a bit.
Is it just me or Dart's mic a little low?
Sorry.
Yeah, it
All
seems a
good.
little low to me.
Well, we've got this. All right. Appreciate everything. All right, so yeah, just more with the COPV area. A bit of work being done on the test stand this week, as we've seen. But we will get into that here in just a little bit. I did not get a chance to go through and completely organize all of these pictures, so you guys will have to just stick with me just a little bit on some of these. We might be a little crazy, but we're going to make it happen for you.
All I know is last time I tried to organize photos on a show, it was a disaster. So
Yeah, it's a thing, that's for sure. So we've got all our test stands, super crusher, mini crusher, not a crusher. Yeah, all kinds of stuff going on this week. Lots of work. I know that this test tank also underwent another cryo test. Yeah, 39.1 was tested again, maybe a couple of times this week.
I was going to say, I think it was 2, but could be wrong.
Right, nice. Yeah, I think there was one last night as well. Very cool.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, we've got the squeeze test. They're just kind of hanging out.
for future crushing.
Yeah. I still really feel like they're going to somehow permanently affix those to the main test stand, but we will see.
I mean, those have the cross members to attach it to the top of a booster, so the two rusty beams, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure. Before we've seen them, they basically kind of straddle these test tanks and then run down with like chains and stuff to hold these, correct?
Yeah, the semicircular plates on the IH beams bolt down to the outer lip. Yeah.
Yeah, the last time we saw it used in that configuration was on the version 2 ship aft test tank 16, I want to say it was. And that was a while ago. That was last year early, right? Either last year early or the year end of 2024. Right. And then we saw this tank removed over here this week.
Promptly disappeared into the ether.
To where it went, we do not know.
Right. And I know we were talking about, Jake was saying that he was thinking that it might be crushed. That they were going to put, well, it's in another picture, but there was like a little top there that he was thinking they might put it in there and crush it. But it doesn't look like it's set up to be able to do that in here, at least just yet. Maybe they might be able to put some pistons in here, and maybe that's what they're kind of working towards. But as of right now, it doesn't look like they have the ability.
No, I think it'd require needs to be reconfigured if they're going to put the cap on it.
For sure. Let me see if I can get that cap real quick. There it is. So this is the one that we were thinking, and I mean, looking at it, it could be used in there possibly. I mean, we do have 8 points around the outside, and if I go back to that picture, we do have 8 holes
Except
around.
those holes hold the struts at the tank was connected to the stand with.
Right. You don't think they could possibly modify that, or?
That's my point, is if they're going to crush it, the stand is going to need it'll need to be reconfigured on the bottom.
For sure. And that's kind of what I was thinking before too, whenever he suggested it, that it does not look like it's set up for it currently.
No, not at all.
But definitely future possibility.
But take a step back, the forces on that tank, it should not be receiving a vertical load like that. It's suspended to the bottom and stabilized to the sides. There's no load. It's not carrying a load, so I don't know why they would have to crush it.
That's what I was thinking as well. I mean, I could see if it was a structural point of some part of the ship or booster or something like that, but it's really not. So crush test doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me personally.
Yeah, I mean, you'd whatever testing you did, you'd want to subject it to whatever flight loads the structure would receive. And I don't see a vertical crushing.
Yeah, I don't see it
So I've got
being
my daughter
necessary.
asking me, could they just be doing pressure testing in there to see how much pressure? Me personally, it's like I think they'd be not wanting to pop something like that inside that area where the test cage could be used for so much more. But what do you think, Alex and Matt?
It's a fairly low pressure tank. There's some tests that you could probably do, but the way it was set up in here, I never got the feelings that depending how the lower struts that were holding it, what forces they could impart into the tank, I never saw good ground photos to see what sort of structural loads they would be putting into this tank, because it was statically attached to the top, but it wasn't it was just laterally attached. So there wasn't, if you're pushing forces up from the bottom to try and get one side, say, to buckle, it wasn't really restrained. So yeah, I think it was mainly vibrations, and they might have done some torque sort of rotation sort of test, but in pressure, obviously.
Something that has always visually bothered me and I've wondered about is why they never put a connector through here. Because it's got the mounts for it on both sides.
It'd drive us crazy.
Yeah, it's what it feels like sometimes. Because seeing it the way it is, it's just, yeah, messes with me.
One of these sides, not like the other.
And then we've seen these here for a few weeks now. Has anybody kind of figured out what they're for yet?
Yes. Just yes.
Do tell.
No.
It's a secret.
Not a clue.
Yeah, I don't think any of us has been able to work that out yet, and nor why they're just hanging out. Interesting pieces, though. How's chat going over there, Indy?
Good. We got lots of donations and we have a few questions if you're ready.
Sure, feel free to pop them out.
All right. We want to thank Yazada for his $5 donation. And he says a small start towards Mauricio's goal. DMHMT came in with $4.99 and says a small bit towards today's goal. Thank you, RGV. And €9.99 donation from Colin Smith for fuel. Thank you guys so much for your donations. We genuinely appreciate it. And then I got a question for you guys. Daniel's wondering, what do we think is coming to Massey's overnight? An empty cryo stand or a shiny ship?
That's a
I
good question.
I
Considering,
want to see a shiny ship. Sorry, go ahead, Darth. You're good.
I was just going to say, considering that they still have SPMTs under the static fire stand, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I was saying I really want to see a ship go. I want to see him get this early, because it seems kind of quick. But I wouldn't put money on it. I don't know. It seems too early, but it would really make me happy if it was.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'd like to see a ship, but we shall see.
All right. All for One is wondering, is SpaceX building their COPVs in-house now, or could this be different testing reflected there?
They're bought a company that manufactures COPVs, so they're getting it sort of in-house. It's entering in their vertical integration. So they may their COPV test areas also looked a bit ad hoc. So probably until that deal's fully set up and they change their tooling, they'll probably. It's also a good thing to sometimes verifies that what you're getting is accurate. I mean, you generally in manufacturing will randomly pull something off the assembly line and put it through its testing it just to make sure, because trust but verify.
Fair enough. And Colin Smith actually donated £9.99, not euros. I made a mistake. My bad. I thought I said pounds. I guess I said euro. Thanks, chat, for correcting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support, you guys, and keep those questions coming. Anytime you have them, just put them in the chat.
Do you want a couple of questions that are non sequiturs? Or should we wait till we get to that area?
Let's wait till we get to that area because guardrails.
Yeah.
I'm not to be trusted.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Indy. So we saw the test stand come off this week and go back to its holding area. As of last week, we were seeing all of these pistons being tested with these two test structures right here. The small one being for in the middle and the taller ones being for these outer pistons. It looks like they got everything calibrated the way they wanted it.
And those test structures, they were on the stand when they came out. Is that correct?
They were on the stand last week when it was over the hot fire area.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we got pictures of them actively being installed and tested, so that was pretty neat to see last week. Confirmed exactly what we expected them to be. Looks like we still got a lot of work going on at this one as well.
Yeah, not much has changed with this one. It's just sort of sitting there.
Yeah, we can see a few parts off to the side, but yeah, going very slow, that's for sure.
Curious, the white things on the stand itself in the center, are those the same as the white things on the left side that haven't been placed yet?
These ones right here?
Yeah, are they the same as the ones on the right stand? If you look on the right one? Yes.
It doesn't look like it. These look like pretty big kind of triangular sections almost.
Mm,
But the function could be the same?
yeah.
Possibly.
they're
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we kind of thinking that they're possibly going to be covering these graded areas, possibly. So, yeah, maybe, or maybe they're going to be covering up, the outsides of the stands. What do you think, Alex?
I think it's covering the grading. They all have sort of a curve to them.
Right. And that's what I'm thinking, is they're just basically extra shielding for the graded areas.
For cheese.
Exactly.
Oh, good. Just checking.
Parmigiano. All right. So again, see something, say something. I apologize for everyone. I did not get much of a chance to go through these beforehand. So it's almost kind of like a show and tell, but thankfully we've got a couple people in here that were part of that last week, so they can kind of point some things out for us. But honestly, in Massey's, I don't think a lot has changed overall, at least that we can tell or see.
They've started the plumbing for the new tanks.
Right. Absolutely. We'll get
And
over to those. There we go.
and it appears that, unlike most of the tanks at the pad, that at the launch site, that these are reverting back to their bespoke built assemblies. They're setting out the little pipeways and valve stands. So yeah, they're standardization. Meh.
Just chuck it in there.
Yeah, and until otherwise stated, I mean, I believe these were labeled as LOX tanks, so until it's clear that they're not, I'm just going to keep moving with their LOX tanks, and they're going to play musical tanks at some point.
And so we're kind of expecting valve skids to come in here as well, correct?
That, if you scroll down to the left, there's that shorter rib tank. The spacings of those footings track for that tank.
Oh no, please don't.
Oh yes, please.
My OCD can't handle it.
And the other thing is they've started disconnecting the old LOX pumps, but if they were to revert these to nitrogen, well, they could probably just convert the pump assemblies to nitrogen from LOX. So there's that.
But so if they're going to put the smaller tank in here, why would they have the mounts over here as well?
Well, because for future, the tanks have a long lead time, and there's been some.
Right.
I mean, like one of the issues, even for stationary gas turbines for power plants, some of them have 5-7 year wait lists. So there's been massive disruptions in supply chains.
Yes, that is for sure.
And then,
Yeah, that was one of the things Blue Origin had stated after the anomaly at Pad 36 was that the cryotanks, they were very lucky and thankful that they didn't have to replace those because of the long lead times.
Yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole right there.
I mean, it's everything. It's like, for example, the fabs that SpaceX or that Tesla wants to build, or they're building together. I mean, the ASUs that plant's going to have is going to be massive, as well as all of its supporting cryogenic material. So their timeline, if they just started procurement, is going to be a lot longer than, well, normally, as well as there's a lot of gas plants in the world that need a lot of work right now.
And have we got any ideas on where these vertical tanks might be getting set up here?
No, there hasn't been, and there's no, they haven't worked on where their footings are going to be. Those are very much like the methane tanks and stuff that they use at McGregor as well.
Yes, and these have been sitting here for a long time now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think those were going to launch site later. They just needed to store them because obviously what we've seen in the past, the port's getting pretty full over there. And I mean, yeah, I'm probably wrong, but I want to throw it out there. So just in case I'm right, I can see I told you so.
It's your crow and you're sticking to it.
And you dang right.
Yeah, it's like the latest batch of tanks at the port. If those are for the launch site, they're probably for the liquefaction, natural gas purification and methane liquefaction plant.
Yeah. And another change that I know that we saw today, well, this week, is that these pieces that we saw being assembled last week are now no longer here. And Todd and Indy, did you guys find them last night? I know I didn't.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, we have a thought that they're going to be used on the Super Crusher here for a lower set of pistons that have been installed, but just not sure. We just did not see them. I mean, we do see a few parts still left over. It looks like they have one more to build still, which is this one. Some of the connector pieces are here, and then the two remaining outside pieces are right here. And this is what kind of gives us the thought that it is going to be attached to a tank structure, as it's got the correct curvature.
Is it hiding with the landing tank?
We're just not sure, unfortunately. I think maybe if we had some ground shots this week up into Massey's, that might have been able to clear things up, because we're thinking they're down here, or at least where they're going to be used. And I don't personally think they're going to be used currently right here, as they would have to really work them in and around all of the rods that are in here. So I'm thinking that it's going to be for whatever replaces this test tank.
What's weird is this week I haven't seen any ground photos up close from Massey's. I'm wondering if they're finally enforcing their private property.
Well, I mean, that would kind of make sense now that land swap is basically a done deal.
I mean, it was their property from before, but yeah.
Right.
It's not a done deal yet. It's still...
Well, it was pushed through. Fish and Wildlife, all that, they all signed off on it.
I didn't think it was the finished. Everybody signed off. I didn't think it was consummated yet.
Yeah, it was basically to go in effect within 2 weeks, I believe, of when that report was put in. And so I think that was only about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, because it came out that Tuesday for the expanded show.
Right. But I hadn't thought the time limit had expired yet. So the final that says cleared, I don't think has, because it's in that waiting period where people can file lawsuits to stop it as well.
Mm,
So that they have built-in brakes for that sort of things.
gotcha. Yeah, I know that it doesn't have to go through any other testing, or I'm sorry, like environmental reports or anything federally.
Right. That's it's in the glide path for completion, but it's also in the time period where somebody could legally challenge the it. So until the deeds are transferred, yeah, it's not done.
Right. Maybe I'm thinking of they're actually allowed to kind of start doing work here and there, but things aren't fully done. Where's event dudes when you need them, right?
Right. Well, it's everything is in its final state throes without a major. There's no federal actions that's going to stop it except for the court system.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
And good luck on that.
you'd be surprised.
Well, no, I mean it can happen. I just, with the way that the government is helping and, kind of helping push things through a little bit faster right now and stuff like that, just going to make it a lot harder.
Yeah, the gas liquefaction plant at the launch site not going through any environmental rules. It's the biggest shocker of all, because yeah, that really requires, but we're swirling down a rabbit hole.
For sure. All right, so on to the next thing. We see our mystery beams here. Still no changes, and still nothing around here to give us any kind of indicator as to what or where it's going to be installed and or used for. This is one of those things that has just been stumping us for a couple of months now.
One of these days, something's going to show up and it's going to just be the exact match that, and everyone's just going to like, oh, but it hasn't happened yet, and I really would like to happen soon because it's driving me nuts.
You're not the only one. I still really do think it has something to do with that grid fin tester that we see over in Sanchez. And they're just keeping them apart right now just to mess with me.
Extra strength ibuprofen.
Yeah, right. And that's kind of the thing, is it's doing exactly what ibuprofen did to us and just stumped everybody right up to the last minute. But it's an interesting one, that's for sure. We've had a lot of time to kind of try to figure out what it is and squirrel on it and eat our crow, and we still don't know.
The crow hasn't officially been served yet.
It's staying warm in the oven right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stewing. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's much else really to talk about at Massey's other than the test stand that we'll be getting to here shortly.
Yeah, we're almost done with the stairwell.
Yeah, unfortunately with Massey's, it's just getting to the point where it's little things here and there, and all the big stuff is done. It's always fun looking at the little stuff, but I like when the big stuff happens.
Absolutely.
But not bad big.
The big boom.
So let's get over there real quick here. Or at least try to make it quick. Come on, Massey's. There we go. Now we're getting there. So we definitely did see a few changes over here this week. As Alex said, the stairs. Well, let's get more to the rest of them. I put together a whole section of them. 1 second. There we go. So I do know that we also did see these installed this week. Jake noticed them kind of starting last week, but they hadn't been installed or put into place. And is that a COPV that's on each side? I can't tell what those are.
Or that just a welding?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Those crossbeams have been there for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're just starting to see things getting put on them and stuff.
Yeah, that's new. So much for it's a camera mount.
It's an articulating one. It's for a flat screen, you know?
Oh, plasma?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Got to be a plasma.
110 inch. Yeah, so they are actively still working on these, so we will see exactly what that is going to be. Almost, I don't know. Hard to tell, hard to tell. Did you guys work anything out last night in the show and tell, Todd?
Not that I recall. It was still just noticed that it was done.
And how about
We did talk about on the platform itself. They have two things jutting out from the top level.
yes.
We were talking about what those are and what they could be used for.
Yeah, and that would be these two little access platforms. I heard Todd say
Yep.
diving boards.
As Alex, but I might have said that in the show and tell. So
Yeah.
They're for flaps.
Yeah.
Even the railing has a curve on the edge, so that when the flap's deployed, it doesn't hit the corner of the railing.
Yeah, and it totally makes sense to help hook up to it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the need for man lifts, basically.
yeah, that's kind of the conclusion we came to last night.
Mm-hmm. And
Still weird to me that they don't have guards on the back side of them, but they do on the, I guess would be the front side. So it's like, are they not done? Or, yeah, I don't know.
Well, there'll be a flap there when somebody's working, but using a flap as a safety barrier is probably not an approved safety.
just a little
Don't look
flag.
Yeah, they'll put a little velvet rope.
Yeah. This is the VIP area. Do not go.
Yeah.
And as Alex was saying earlier, they've basically got the stairs almost to the top and finished. Almost.
Look, and one of those funny L ones that I said they would use to connect it is being used. Weird.
Yeah.
Well, there's the extension to the landing.
Yeah, let me see if I can get a more straight on shot. There we go.
Yeah. And then in the front, where there's there's the extension platform where it's going to bridge across.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so they're probably going to come out here and around. You think?
That one I think is going to jut straight into that corner,
Right
the
here?
back corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the L platforms that's been floating around for months.
Did we see those still down here? Let's see.
The last place I saw them was over by the the building.
Like over in here?
Now the big white building.
Oh, okay.
By the parking lot where they put a bunch of Tesla charging stations.
Right. Gotcha. And how about this? Did you guys talk about this at all last night as well?
I don't recall. It was back and forth, but I don't recall. That's new to me right there.
Yeah, it's an interesting little frame.
Is it hooked up to the hydraulic structure pump, or is it just laying on the ground next to it?
It looks like it might just be laying there. Like, it's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure it's just laying there. I mean, it could be part of the walkway that we're talking about, maybe to connect, or yeah, just.
It looks like a railing.
It does, Darth.
Yeah, good one.
What's the safety, Darth? Come on now.
Well, right there under it, it says fall protection is required.
Details.
Yep, those do line up exactly size-wise with the railings that they are using on these stairs.
And it does look like there's a couple stacked up on top of each other.
Yep. So, good catch. Very nice.
Perfect place for the SBMT to run right over them.
Yeah.
And this is me still waking up.
We appreciate you. All right, so not sure we really saw much else change in this stand area. They're just kind of doing that last little 20% thing.
And they've completely removed all the scaffolding from the trench.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that last week. They removed that. Let me get over here. So, yep, down in here, it's all been removed. This was where we saw that patching going on, as well as a few areas on the wall, which just, I don't think any of us understand the point of that without just completely tearing it down. That's what we'd like to see.
If it's needed. It's probably not needed.
Yeah, probably not at the moment, right? Just put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. We'll make it happen.
You put that expanding? No, never mind.
Yeah.
So one thing I'll add is we'll know when 40 is rolling out because all that scaff on the tower should be removed.
All of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine as soon as they finish up with that staircase, this is going down quick.
You're not static firing anything with that there.
Right. So
And then until they do.
yeah. Very true.
We've seen them before.
Our two separate ponds here. And that's pretty much it for Massey's. So, yeah, we'll shoot over to Indy and see how donations and questions are doing.
Both are doing well. We got a donation from Jap Kuipers for $25, and they said, for fuel and oxygen, with many thanks for all you do. We got another $10 donation from This Guy's Gun, our very own Todd. And he says, let's hit that goal and show Matt we appreciate him for stepping in at the last minute to give us a show. Thanks, Matt.
It is my pleasure.
A $5 donation came in from Space Watcher, and he says, for the team. As far as questions are concerned, Crane Man is wondering, does the static fire test structure have a lightning detector, or is it a lightning detector all by itself?
So up here, like at the top?
I haven't seen any rods or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, I think they're just using in Texas. They're just using the stand or steel itself as the lightning rods. Basically, Texas doesn't get as many lightning storms as Florida does. Florida is known to have the worst lightning in the world.
Yeah, Florida's pretty insane when it comes to lightning storms. I can attest. Thank you, Indy.
We just got one more donation from Joe in Space, who donated $20 and says, thanks for the great pics and info. You guys are the best.
And so are you guys.
Thank you.
And that's it for the questions and donations for right now.
Well, fantastic. Then I guess we will head on over to Sanchez if we don't have anything else.
Sorry, I forgot one. We also want to thank Stan J for the 5 gifted memberships. And now I'm done.
Are you really done?
I'm done.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What? Did I do something?
Well, I saw a question come in.
Oh.
Well, that's for later anyway, so.
Yeah.
All
I also
right.
sleep.
So over at Sanchez, as we were actually just talking about just a little bit ago, we've got that grid fin testing structure right here. A very good picture. We don't typically get it as close and clear as this one, so this is a good one for sure. We're not seeing a whole lot of changes going on here. It seems to be in limbo as well at the moment. I can tell.
Yep.
Go ahead, Todd.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think that one's waiting for something to test on, or maybe a stand, more things, for them to put it on the stand to test. I think that main section pretty much seems like it's done.
Yeah, we saw them put the flooring sections in like 2 or 3 weeks ago. All of these have been installed, except for this one that's still sitting outside, but we're pretty sure that one's kind of going to go to here or whatever's right outside the structure, possibly. But otherwise, yeah, it's basically just done and just kind of chilling. We did notice some piping pieces being worked on and kind of stored over here, but not much to it. Definitely not for this. And this side is still very cleared out. We saw that cleared out over the last couple of weeks as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they're going to be doing or installing or putting together over here soon. Still seeing this section just hanging out. We all think that these are all going to go over to Starship Park and be part of a display, seeing as how they have 3 of them kind of stored all over Starbase right now. We got this one here. We've got another one that's kind of chilling back there, and then we have another one that's hiding in the village. So I'll just kind of scroll around, and again, if you guys see something in the area that we noticed last night, please call it out.
So in this image right here, you can see right there where your mouse is, those white. Yes. We didn't figure out what these were for, but Kiwi was suggesting that these might be platforms or something that go with the stands that are over by the pipes at the other end of Sanchez. Potentially, not sure, but then the holes on it were something that were very confusing because we didn't know what exactly the holes would be for.
Yeah. I mean, you'd almost
So this
think,
is-
well, if they were going to be a stand piece, those holes could be weight savings, but I mean, you could make the holes way bigger for something that's this flat.
That
Right.
it's so thick, I don't think holes would do much for. And I think
Right.
if by making it that thick, it's either structural or blast proof. It's made to handle either a load or a hit hard.
Well, absolutely, and that's kind of what I was getting to. It doesn't look like a speed hole. It almost would make no sense to do something so small as a speed hole. So yeah, it definitely looks like some kind of structural or testing or something, because they
Those
are
bolt patterns-
extremely thick.
Those hole patterns remind me of what they did with the hood mounts on the OLM. So I think it's definitely structural.
For sure.
And those There's something on the OLM that those remind me of the clamp slots at the bottom.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then above it, it looks like there's parts by the white pop-up just to the right of it, the white pop-up. There's those gray pieces. Now the long skinny ones that look like those are for the edges of the top deck where they connect with the manifolds.
Yeah, the side
Interesting.
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just unwrap everything, guys. Come on. Don't be shy.
Matt, zoom in on the silver articles just to the right of the pop-up tent. Do we know what that is? I just noticed that.
Yes.
They look like a
No.
levered something.
A leaf spring. No.
Well, in automotive terms, this kind of looks like a lower control arm. But it almost looks like it kind of can pivot on something inside of here and go left or right. I don't know.
And then we'll
Yeah,
see it
just
from a different angle and it'll look completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
Never happened to me, but I've heard.
And we've got some more of these over here, it looks like. But yeah, otherwise not too much to be able to pick out of the pile. These, I'd imagine, probably came from Brown Lot. They look exactly like all of those parts and pieces that they were painting and storing over there. And if you don't know what the Brown Lot is, be sure to join Starbase Expanded on Tuesday nights. We cover that lot all the time there. We cover all the external support facilities, basically, all the different lots and housing areas and stuff like that, where basically supports everything that goes on at Starbase and these 4 certain areas that we cover during the weekly show. So now that those are here, it looks like we should see the factory connected to Gigabay sooner rather than later. We also see no work going on in the cladding area still, which is kind of a little surprising. I think we're still waiting on the crane. Is that correct?
to the best of our knowledge, that's what we think.
All right. Here's that second one that we believe will be part of the display area. And then we have a support structure there. Let's see what else. So we've got a little bit of the breakover area. Not much going on here currently. Everything's kind of getting shoved into the corner because just out of frame, we are actually seeing some work being done on concrete. There we go. So this is one of them. Let's see if we have a slightly closer. Well, sort of. I know I've got a couple a little bit later. But yeah, so as of last week, we saw them tearing up the concrete in this area and going around this stand here. But it was only up to here. So now as of this week, we're seeing a little bit more being taken out. As we can see, they're still actively
Matt,
tearing up some areas. What's that?
7201, 7202 show that area really good.
Yeah, I think I have them a little bit later here. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see where I had them. That one's not too bad. Oh yeah, I'm way off now.
Oops, didn't mean to get you lost.
No,
But
you're
yeah,
good.
we're also kind of scratching our head on what they're going to be doing with that leftover piece with well, now I can't think. What word am I looking for?
Embeds?
Yes, thank you, Alex. Yeah, with the embeds in it, they're just kind of weird to leave just that, unless they have something obviously really specific in mind for it.
Todd,
Well,
look at the concrete that remained and tell me they had a plan. There's square pieces, diagonal pieces.
You're right. I need to look a little bit wider. Never mind.
Yeah, they're doing their own pace, so that might be gone next week.
it might be.
I was honestly so fixated on that one that with the embeds in it. I don't remember even looking at those random size shapes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very random, that's for sure. But I mean, as we all know, random for us means a plan for someone else, possibly.
Right. And if they didn't have the heavy duty hammer for the excavator, they probably wouldn't have bothered to try to demo out that pad if it indeed gets removed.
Yeah, and go ahead.
I was going to say behind it, we're next to the vehicle. Those pads are going to be removed, right? Because they can't be used for any more of the boosters or to the right of the booster, the actual right of the. Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, eventually they're probably going to tear all of this area up a bit too.
And the one next to it that the ship is on, because they wouldn't be able to use it for anything, correct?
Hey. I don't know what ship you're referring to. There's nothing there.
The one called John Cena?
There's nothing there.
That's right.
I see nothing.
You can't see me.
So
for any wrestling fans.
Yes, I still think that area is going to become new ship parking.
But they'd have to remove what's currently there now, like those stands that are embedded into the concrete.
No, because that was the ship engine install stand at one point.
Right, and that was my guess as well, is that they are breaking this up to do more, well, basically extend the rocket garden and make more areas for parking, seeing as how they are expecting to be able to start pumping things out a little bit faster. They are going to need spaces for it to park. And as we see, this building has now been hooked up, well, or at least the electrical pipe racking
cableway,
thank you, cableway has been attached now, or at least right up to this building, which this building also does mirror this one back here that is being used to kind of run these as well. So it really does look as though that's what they are kind of getting ready for. And also, as of Tuesday, we were looking and, we saw that they do have vertical tanks here. Well, there are a whole bunch of vertical tanks being stored at the port right now as well. So it could be that some of those vertical tanks will be to add over here for extra ship and booster parking. So we shall see.
Yeah, they got to come up with something, whether here or somewhere else. There's just not going to be enough room once things get really rolling. Gigabay's up, and yeah, it's just going to be really hard to find a parking spot while we're waiting for launches.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, as I said earlier, they're trying to go a little bit faster, as we all know, and so they're going to have to have a place to put them.
And luckily, a lot of those that will be produced here starting out will be shipped to Florida as well.
So you're saying make it Florida's problem. I like this plan.
I call that delegating.
There you go.
First rung in management.
Exactly. Shift it off to the next person.
I mean, they already started with the transport stands.
Except they didn't send the trashiest one, so
What were they thinking? So did you guys notice much in this area at all last night?
Not in that area, but to the right of that area.
For sure. I just wanted to double check with this area first. I know we saw a very curious piece out here 2 weeks ago, which has since disappeared and is no longer able to be found. And I'd really love to see what that's going to be used for.
there's that silver hydraulic reservoir, but I think it was there last week for the for pad 1.
Yeah, not too much to point out just yet. Let me see here. There we go. That's a little bit better. So as we also saw, this stand has gotten a little bit more. It's gotten like one extra piece to it. We've been getting some more paint on it, and looks like now they are painting it gray.
White. Right?
Oh,
I thought it's white.
so primer, so white and then primer, and then we're gonna do go white again, or
Yeah, it was white. Now it's going gray. It looks like.
right?
It's going white. The guy's bucket is white. He's standing on the gray.
Yeah, good point, Alex. I was starting to double think
Well-
myself because there's
well,
more
but-
pictures as we go along that this is pretty much painted by the end of the flyover. And now I'm thinking, wait, did it go backwards? Was it white and then went gray? But you're right. He's standing on the gray. I doubt that was freshly painted.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I guess that it went white, then it went primer, and then it went white again. Because it was just base white like this last week. But I'm sure these are just kind of the non-finished pieces beforehand. And going back to that, this is a second one of these stands slowly being built.
Oh, Jake pointed out here that they're removing the support structures off of those black things. Yep.
Right, these right here, correct?
Those are the edge pieces. There's that gray or that red rust area. There is a vertical piece member that they cut off.
Okay.
And it looks like they're if you go to the ship stand that's over by the former rocket garden, they have those bolted on as if they're leaving them bolted to the stand. On the ship stand down below. Yeah. They left on the left edge. They left those pieces bolted to the stand, the transport stand. Right. The SPMT mounts. Yeah, they've left them fixed to the stand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it looks like they're permanently attaching them to the rather than just dropping them on the SPMTs as needed.
Interesting. Do you have an idea on why they might be doing that versus keeping them? Or maybe it's just so
Speed.
that they can use the SPMTs for other things as well and not just transporting these stands?
Yeah, just drive the SPMT under the stand and then just lift them up and connect them. It's one less operation because instead of to the SPMT, then connecting them to the stand, doing it this way, you just connect it to the SPMT because it's fixed to the stands.
Right.
So it's just a faster process.
And so I know we saw these last week as well, this piece, and we're pretty sure this has to do with this Starlink loader box.
Believe it's a lid.
Yeah, the one next to the transport stand is the lid. Part of the lid.
For up top.
Yeah, you can see the slant angle. The other Pez dispenser or Pez loader has it as well.
All right, this one is the exact same. It has the angle to it as well and has the opening on that side. Just hard to see it from this angle.
That was a gable roof? What?
Yeah, exactly. But that was what was interesting to me. It didn't seem like the correct size, but now that I'm seeing it now, it definitely looks a little bit closer.
Yeah, like I said, if you go back and take a look at the first Pez loader, same lids.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a little bit better shot of the entire pad as we saw it. Going over to the Megapack area, we are still missing one transformer up here, which we've been kind of waiting on for roughly a month, maybe a little bit longer now, which is a little surprising, but I guess they're not really in a hurry. This pad is also already set up to be able to support another set of Megapacks, but they're just kind of storing all of these older transformers around here. And we have a feeling that they might be doing the same thing over here eventually, that they're just going to extend these pads and the amount of Megapacks that they have, but just haven't seen a lot of that just yet.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting that they're bringing the old hardware from Pad 1's comms electrical bunker over here.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and they've been kind of stacking these up for a while now. I mean, it's been roughly about a month and a half, and I know they've switched out a couple of these, but not all of them. And then down here at the BZI area for the cladding, as we said earlier, not seeing any work being done. All these same frames are still here. Same single bit of external cladding still sitting in the same spot. Nobody really working in the area. So maybe we'll see something start up this week, hopefully.
I think the teams were transferred to Roberts Road so they could get that done since they're almost done with the build out.
Right, kind of crank it out before hurricane season really kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. So I think this is a good point to take a slight moment and check on chat with Indy.
Sounds like a plan. I just have a question for you so far. Sergeant Vash is wondering, what are the testing with the grid fin structure, or is it a motor actuator testing regime?
Well, that's
Motor.
what. Go ahead, Al.
Oh, it's for the motor actuator. It has a socket so that it'll take the actual actuator, and then we're assuming that there'll be a stand-in for the actual grid fin that'll be connected to the actuators. The tests, one of the text fixtures at Massey's, they were testing the actual socket for buckling and that sort of stuff. So the assumption is this one is for the actual motor itself.
Right on. And then we want to thank Martin for his £5 donation. And he says, for highly flammable liquid.
Awesome.
Thank you, Martin.
Any more questions?
Petrie's wondering, what are they trying to get done by hurricane season?
Well, I was saying
Yeah.
that they are likely trying to get the Gigabay over there completely closed up before hurricane season comes through. Just make it a little bit less possible for damage and tools flying around and things like that, since they're actively working on the interior.
Yeah, Florida, the hurricane season officially starts June 1st, but near August, September, that's when it gets really wild.
Yep, and that's coming up quick, that's for sure.
I think every area is technically going to have their own deadlines for what to get done before the season hits. ASU will have certain things, and the launch site will have certain things. Just certain things are going to want to have closed in just about everywhere you look, if you'd ask me.
I'm such a football junkie hearing you talking about ASU and hurricanes. I just think college football. Sorry.
And then we
Go
want
on,
to thank
Kat.
Todd. Sorry, go on.
Go on, Indy.
I was going to say, and we also want to thank Todd for another $10 donation through PayPal. Thank you so much. And he said, keep up the good work. Thanks.
And that was Todd and Cabo, I believe I saw.
Yes, Todd and Cabo. My bad. Todd G.
We appreciate you guys very, very much. All of your donations and memberships and stuff really do go a long way.
That's it for the questions and donations so far for this area. Did you hit the yeah, right there where your mouse is, just below the new set on the skids? Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, this is the area that I was kind of going to get into now, or the OLM and all that good construction. This one's going to be heading over to Massey's, I would imagine, or...
I'm of the opinion that that's just Firex for Pad 1. Instead of the one they have for Pad 2, they built on the ground, but it's a similar arrangement.
Gotcha. We've seen a whole bunch more coming in. I think we're probably pretty close to finished, if not already, with all the pipes that we need.
Yeah, seeing all those supports now, that should get started soon.
Absolutely. So we did see these two come in last week, and now we're starting to see even more coming in. So looks like they're getting really close to getting this started, which we figure is probably going to go over in this area, just like when they did the last one. It looks like they're starting to get prepped, basically, with some of the stands, doing a little bit of welding work, basically getting it all put together, getting it ready and prepped. We're seeing a lot of welders coming in and being delivered, so yeah.
Yeah, these box girders they're building don't really ring a bell for the previous deflector.
Well, yes, and that's the thing, is the last deflector stand was very minimal. It was a very small frame that they kind of put it together with.
And the pieces at the top of the frame are the ones you had the 4 main girders and then the lighter weight one. You had the 4 for the actual bucket and then one more where it transitioned to vertical or more. But those squares vaguely look like, and I know they're not, they sort of look like the ship or the booster stand arms if you look at them sideways, but they're definitely not.
Right. Yeah, still seeing lots of pieces, especially for that flame diverter coming in. We're seeing some more of the ribbed sections for the upper ridge, as we saw those pieces in last week, and a couple more over here.
Well, they built 39A's Apex here, so they might have all the tooling to to build it here. Sorry, Darth.
Yeah, sorry for jumping on you. I was just going to say I would not be surprised if 37s are built here, at least the top ridges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now that we have a barge to go back and forth, it'll be pretty easy to kind of get a bunch of this stuff over there. I did also notice that there were a few individual pieces, kind of like smaller sections of this sitting around. There's one there, one here, and one out here. Do we think that those might be like extra rib supports for just on the inside for less deflection, possibly?
No, if anything, it's to extend it, to make it slightly wider than it currently, or longer than it currently is.
Okay. That way it's perfect wall to wall.
Well, not probably wall to wall. It's just a bit wider before the shoulders start to come up.
Gotcha.
I'm
Yeah.
also, I'm also curious if they're not going to change part of the way the top of it interfaces with the walls, the shoulder section.
So I think that was a point of contention on pad 2, right? Kind of wondering like what in the world they were doing over in those corners.
Right. Currently, those corners are not being actively cooled. So yeah. Personally, I think that's going to be added as a running change, since they did run a secondary deluge to that area that's never been hooked up, but that's more of a pad update.
Very cool. So yeah, as far as the actual OLM itself, we are not seeing a lot going on here either, which is we thought was a little surprising, but we're thinking that maybe they might be deciding to work on the flame trench and buckets assembly maybe first to make sure that that gets in and done and in the hole before they really start going to town over here. But I would have expected a few more pieces, honestly, by now.
The things. Go on, Darth.
I was just going to say, I think whoever their supplier is for these may be pumping out the 37 parts first before they get the final parts here.
And looking at the changes with the GSC bunker that they're doing to optimize their construction schedule, I wouldn't be surprised if this OLM comes together significantly faster than Pad 2's, Pad B's.
Yep, so we're still seeing the exact same amount of pieces as we did last week, and still no top added over here. That's sitting there just waiting.
Unless that's at the reference height and they're going to leave it rusty.
Could be.
I mean, that might have been the high corner, and they leveled the other three to its elevation.
Yeah, totally possible. That's for sure. So yeah, anything else in this area that we noticed last night?
Up by the BZI fence, there's this curved steel pieces that are being staged.
Is that the large curve pieces?
Yeah, which I think are probably for the work cells for the for Gigabay. Yeah. And
oh yes, all these, correct.
Yeah, because they're painted white on one. Stuff there is all painted white on one side, I believe. So that kind of screams it's going to end up in the factory.
Yeah, and they're much bigger than 9 meters, so that would make sense to be like surrounding area of them.
Yeah, it's either that or there's a lower edge below on for the. There's a lip that they weld below the. It looks like on the OLM between the second level and the lower level. But I think this is more. I think these are actually these stands.
There's a slightly better picture.
It's interesting. There's two different geometries.
Yeah, interesting pieces, that's for sure. The holding structure for that small tank, just hanging out over here. The installation jig, is it? Okay, let's see where we are. Didn't really get any pictures inside of any of the mega bays. As you can see, the doors are shut on this side and just barely open on the other one, so not really much to see there. Anything found in this area last night, Indy?
No, not really. Not much has changed here.
Yeah, we typically don't see too much change in this area. Every once in a while we see a curious piece. So over to Giga Bay. We've seen the white cladding be extended across the back of the bay, as we saw this side finish last week. We are seeing them working on the elevators as well. You can see them slowly getting put together and going up higher and higher.
Yeah, they started putting on that fire barrier a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember we just barely noticed the bottom corner being worked on a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it's when everybody wonders if they're doing any of the finished work and the electrical, and it's like, yeah, and they start at the bottom and they work their way up to follow as the levels get finished and poured, then the other trades go in and do their magic.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of pictures of the Gigabay this week. I was
If
just kind of curious.
Let's see.
We noticed the floors were getting up higher.
Yes. I was looking for a head-on shot to be able to show the front ones being worked on as well, but you can just make them out here. There's on this side, and you could just kind of notice a little yellow over on this side as well.
Then on the top, where they started the final level, if you zoom in there, on the bottom, where it is with the deck, those three beams extending outwards, those are where they're going to be lifting the half of the supports for where they're going to be lifting the girders up. That's where the temporary lifting structures are going to be attached to. To the left of that, on the center section, but they haven't assembled it. No, down below, right at the deck level, by where the walls come up. There's those those heavy beams up. That one, down. That one. That's one of them, and then next to it, there's two more. And then if you follow across to the right, keep going. Right there, when they build that section, it's going to be basically the mirror image flipped. Those are where the temporary lifting cranes are going to be on those perched out beams for when they lift the girders up for the bridge carrying trucks. And then that center column, if you go just to the right there, it doesn't have the little ledge bolted. They're bolting it on. All the rest of them are welded for the final section of bridge crane rails.
Right.
So yeah, bridge crane has its own mechanisms for them, or a structure, so that it's gonna be a temporary crane, but it's going to be attached to the actual building structure. They're not going to bring in a crawler crane or try and use the bridge cranes or the tower cranes for when they're installing that.
Nice.
Yeah,
just to point out for those that do not watch the expanded show, we are also seeing all of these rails, which is where the bridge crane rides on. We are seeing them attaching all of these mounting positions off site. And that is over near the Brown lot, where we are seeing that being done as well.
the rails haven't been installed yet, though. They're just the
right. These are what they ride on top of, basically.
The rails sit on top of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Being very pedantic, but yes.
That's okay. And back to what Todd was saying, we are seeing the concrete really flying up now, finally. Took them a little while to get the first few levels, but now they're really starting to push them out quicker.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, not much else to cover, honestly, that I can see.
That center section is the final height. That column that we were looking at, that one, and that's the final height.
Yeah, the 7th level.
Yeah.
The final working height or the final roof level?
The top of the roof, the one below it is the bottom of the roof truss / penthouse / top floor / Zach office.
Basically, like kind of right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that.
A bit taller.
Yeah, basically, it's like one more level higher than the. And then you can,
which makes sense,
right? Pretty much all the rails are for the stacking cells. Thought they were pretty much in last week, but
yeah, just the same with these. We're seeing them over here, all being installed as well.
Yeah, they're pretty much all in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the weird difference on this side is they snuck in an extra level for those birds. Meanwhile, the center and the other parking structure side, it's just one giant level.
Right.
So
I would imagine, and this was ship side?
That's a stacking side. Who knows what's going to be stacked where?
Mm. So that could probably account for why they want a few extra levels for maybe like individual kind of ring sections and stuff like that.
It's to get to the stacking cell cranes.
Mm.
It's kind of, they were having to extend that up anyway.
Right.
So it's like, that's where it's a half height rather than the full height that they did on the other side.
Nice.
Now, we did look inside of there and noticed that they had big rusted triangles at the bottom on the very first floor that they were putting in when you're looking into the Gigabay. There's a picture from Sean Gisler that I can repost in here.
Those little hangers.
Yes, that are over the white pieces.
Yeah.
When you're looking into the Gigabay. Yep.
Yeah, if you want to throw them in Patreon Lounge, I can always pop it up quick.
No pressure, Matt.
So otherwise, I think we're roughly done with Sanchez and the build site.
If you click that link, it'll take you right to the photo in Patreon Lounge. So those big gray things right there, the triangular things?
The brackets.
Yeah, those. Thank you.
Looks like they've got some attaching points on the other side as well.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Look at all the stairs.
They look like they're just bolted on with like a clamping force, not welded in. Or am I seeing that wrong?
It looks like there's a block on the bottom that on the lower diagonal arm is sitting on. Right there. That looks like that.
Okay.
But those sections, no, they do have the some of the railing that's not installed. Like the front one that doesn't have those has their the railing, yeah. The open mesh.
Get off your phone. Get back to work.
Are they doing that to both sides, or are they possibly temporarily supports for when they're assembling like the whatchamacallit cells, the stacking cells, cranes, or any of that nature?
So they do have them on both sides. They painted some of them white already.
Oh. Well, if they're white, then they're probably staying.
Well, it looks like they haven't fully finished over here either, so they're still painting up here. Because on this side, well, so this side has the opposite attachment. This side has the opposite attachment. This one does not yet. So still in the works.
That they're bolted on and not welded yet.
Yeah, they're kind of sandwiched, as Todd was saying.
It screams temporary, but yet they're painting them white, so that's a weird one.
It takes how long for them to run a bead?
Well, and that was the thought. That might be why they're bolted, because they might be figuring out the best position for them still.
I think that would have all been done well before in their design stage.
Yeah, I think these are what the platforms are going to actually be attached to, the wraparound platforms.
Because remember, the geometry of the vehicle doesn't necessarily conform to the floor elevations.
Especially if they use the same type of stands that they're using in the other bays.
Yeah.
And it's easier to just make a step up to the next level. Or, where the platform's actually sitting versus the walkways.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you look on this section on the left, you can see where there's those weird half floors that are just the steel decking for floors, not the poured concrete that were unique to the side of the structure. So I think the buildings, walkways, and floors, again, don't necessarily conform to how the vehicle work stands. You'd build the work stands for what tasks are involved at that station.
And we've seen a good indication of that with the two current bays. How, especially Mega Bay 2, where the work platforms aren't necessarily on the same level as the walkways that go out to the back.
Yeah, and to further support that, they were saying last night that that might be why it only comes out a little bit, is so that it can fit inside the ship or tuck inside the ship.
Yeah, they'll need a lot of clearance for the vehicles to move between those stands.
Yeah, looking forward to having a lot more views before they put those doors on. Okay. So, well,
This is your time to shine, Matt.
sure, yeah, kind of.
Come
I'll,
on.
I'll
I
go.
have to-
I'll go over a couple of areas, but not everything that we usually cover in the Tuesday show.
Hey, you're doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Better than I would be doing. Let's just put that.
I agree.
Thank you, Todd.
Got your back, man. Anytime.
Yeah.
I heard that.
So we do see over here at the apartment complex there is not a lot going on, as they have basically finished a lot of the exterior work, but we are seeing just a little bit still left to go. We are seeing the sidewalk being put in on this side, which we saw the stairs poured about 2 weeks ago, so it took a little bit longer to get those sidewalks going, but looks like they are getting really close to finished over on this side.
Wait, does that mean that there's lots of parking crow to be distributed?
Oh yeah, there's a few people that definitely have some crow to eat for those parking spots. 'Cause I never thought they were parking spots. They just seemed too small. Seemed
Yeah.
like too small of an area to put cars there, even at an angle. So very cool to see that come to fruition. Looks like they've basically got the rest of the palms installed as well, all around the exterior, which further enforces the fact that you will not be putting any cars in this area. And as we saw a few weeks ago as well, there is some trenching work up along the front that it looks like they are starting to finish up little by little, getting the trees in so we can tell that this is all going to be grassy area, and these will likely be kind of walkways and like a angled entrance area basically to this door. And looks like they might be fleshing out another one for this entryway as well.
Yeah.
Not sure about this. Almost looks like it could be a drive under, possibly, but highly unlikely.
I mean, if they do put some sort of hotel there, as that some people speculated, that could be, a sort of circular drive, a bad driveway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it could be, but at the same time, they would have to get through these gates to even be able to get to it, which doesn't make a lot of sense because this is still a public road right here. Can't show up to the front, but there is no gate here. So they have the gate here, and then they have another one installed roughly around right there so that you actually can't get into the village. But as far as here, and as we've seen with like the last drive around with Mauricio, you can still get into this area, which means that you do have access to be able to get into this parking garage. So I would imagine most are going to come in through here, but we'll see.
If it's a private hotel for guests as a company, they'd be on the list and
Yes.
be able to pass through.
Yes, for sure. But that's what I mean. It's just like an extra step that they will have to go through. And so since we do not know if this will be possibly a public area versus the private apartments that kind of go around the rest of it, we're just unsure of at the moment.
Actually, with those palm trees, never mind. That's not going to be a driveway. There's no room.
Yeah, highly. That's what I was saying. Highly unlikely. I mean, it is interesting that there's kind of like a couple in a row almost, or maybe,
There's
or no, it is just one. Never mind.
Yeah, there's no room for a driveway through there.
Yeah, it'd be kind of pointless.
You know, spitballing. You know me.
But hey, Mr. Anarchy on the four-wheeler, get to it, Alex. All right, we can look at Starship Park as well. So they have got this poured. This whole level has been poured now. And we have forms up to finish the wall that goes right through here. And I do have some better, closer pictures as well.
And the starter bars for the wall that goes in front of that wall.
Yes. Yeah, we got right here. And then you can see the forms pretty well outlined here to go all the way across, which I thought was a little interesting.
But there's also going to be a wall just if you look down next to that formwork where those two workers are standing, there's the capped off on the very top where there's going to be another wall where that guy is standing. You can see the top rebar just closer to the formwork. Yeah,
and
right
orange. There you go.
Yeah.
Right. And didn't we kind of think like that might be like a bench area, maybe?
I mean, they reinforced the steel work underneath, so it probably is going to carry more load than just people. But yeah, it could just merely be for sitting.
Yeah, we did see that mirrored with the framing that they did put in. As we saw, the front one was one huge beam that went all the way across, and then in the back there were two smaller beams, one being straight that mirrors exactly what this wall is doing, and then we saw an angled to straight to angled piece that came off, which mirrors where this is. Which I thought that was just kind of interesting. I was thinking maybe this side was going to be stairs and this would be like an ADA ramp, to get up for people, but maybe they're just going to do stairs and ramp on one side.
So what they were saying last night, PK was saying, Philakid was saying that they would do like stadium stairs, like in the Rocky movie, in the big area. So you still might be right.
Well, but at the same time, if this was going to be a ramp up, why are they completely closing off the rest of the deck to people? And that was my only thing. I would think that, they'd have maybe an opening here to be able to get up and then poop and come over.
Yeah, for accessibility, there's rules on how much you can make people who need wheelchairs and such to go out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't say, "Oh, there's wheelchair access in the back." That'd be discriminatory.
Yeah, for sure. The other piece that was of note during the show and tell was that half circle that you can see there in the front. Nobody was really sure what that would be for. Nope, actually on the structure itself.
Well, that's the one for the other side that Matt was pointing out.
Oh.
There's going to be one in each corner.
Left.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's going to be a curved facade.
Mm-hmm.
They were also thinking maybe for the engines, like to show the engines, perhaps.
I mean, that screams it's just facade framing. Why they're making it rounded like that, I have no idea.
Me personally, go ahead, Darth.
I was just saying, my guess, the reason it's rounded is for the rain runoff and aesthetics.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah, and there's going to be a bit of a overhang.
No matter how many times I look at this and next week I see something different, I can't visualize what this is going to do. It just keeps changing, and I'm not sure.
Most likely they're going to have some vending machines and other things in that building because they were supposed to have an amenities building here.
Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot else to really point out in this area. I mean, these are kind of new, but I'd imagine they're just kind of being staged for other other
No, they're
things.
for the wall that goes directly behind them. You can see there's going to be a concrete block wall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Those are blocks, aren't they? Yep.
Yep. And there's a footing. There's a cantilever footing. So yeah, there's it's going to be a block wall protecting the village from the masses.
I should have picked that up because we actually see this exact same thing over at the launch site, which we'll be getting to shortly. We're seeing a building go up a brick wall, and yeah, I should have caught that.
Don't worry about it.
But we did see this wall basically getting completed, the base of it. We saw it about halfway finished last week. So, yeah, they're getting there. Ooh.
Whoa, that's a neat wall.
Yeah. Looks like we've got the other one. The other side over here has been finished as well. So they're getting there. They are supposed to be done by August, which seems unlikely, but hey, possible as well.
I mean, that's a month and a half for just groundwork. Yeah, that could. They'll hydro seed the grass in about an afternoon and, put sod down over the next 3 years.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like we're just not sure what else will be going in here. This might be one of the only buildings that kind of go in, and maybe a little bathroom area, but
the bathroom areas inside that building.
It could be, and that was my first thought as well, that it was going to be kind of like a rest area on a highway, where you kind of come in the middle. You got men's on one side, women's on the other, and a whole bunch of food and vending machines and stuff in the middle.
Yep, and if you've ever seen the Texas rest stops, that's what it really looks like.
Mm-hmm.
With a booster and a ship in front. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they don't need a whole lot to be able to park some of this stuff in these areas, like those aft sections and stuff that we see. So it wouldn't take much to just kind of park a couple things here, throw in a little bit of walkways and some grass, and call it good.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, so unlike the apartment complex, we haven't really got any renders or anything to show what this is going to be in its final form. So we are all just as clueless as everyone else.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if a second parking area is put in on the left there once everything else is pretty much finished. So it mirrors.
Yeah, it's very possible. Very possible. All right, so that's basically everything in this section. So now we'll head over to the launch side. Do we have any questions for there?
We do. We certainly do. And we have donations. We want to thank WDBF Radio for their $20 donation. And we want to thank Martin for his £5 donation. And then he says for chopstick rail grease. And then we have some questions from Nal Bandian. He wrote megabay, but I think he means gigabay. And the question is, When the Gigabay is done, are there enough workers, material, etc., to work on all the different workstations at the same time? What's the timeline you expect for 2026 of how producing Megabay will be done? I think he means Gigabay.
Would you like to take that, Alex?
I think they have enough money to hire people to, and once it'll probably take them 6 months to kit the building out.
Yeah, we know Roberts Road was supposed to be, the primary construction was supposed to be completed. So this is not that far behind.
Yeah, Roberts Road, they're probably going to kit theirs out faster because since they're only going to be flying pre-built vehicles, a lot of the they'll have to figure out the whole how to refurbish between flights and that sort of stuff. Since their Star Factory, they haven't even broke ground on. They're still working on land swaps so that they can actually get permits to build the structure the way they want it to be. So Florida is not going to have the ability to be building vehicles probably for 2 years.
Yeah, it's going to be a while. I agree.
So I'm pretty sure they're going to concentrate on getting the stacking side of this Gigabay completed as soon as possible, since, again, most of theirs, they could almost launch vehicles and send them straight to Florida if they wanted to, validate that the vehicle, like boosters, catch a booster and then ship it off and make it Florida's problem. So there's
one thing
ways
we know
that,
is
go on.
I was just going to say, we know they were approved for that 100 acres in Florida.
Right, but they're trying to get a road closed and they're trying to do some other things to unify the parcel.
Right.
So I didn't think they've got final approval yet. Where's dudes when we need them?
Exactly. Thanks, Cindy.
Sure thing. And then we have a question from Carl Smith. When they knock down Megabay 1, won't they need a new Raptor's nest?
Presuming yeah. Go, Todd.
They could already have it incorporated into any of the other locations, and I'm not going to go with yes, they're knocking Megabay 1 down yet. I don't know. Going to kind of wait and see on that one.
Yeah, I'm on the fence on, especially since it looks like it'd be if they do a Gigabay 2, it'd be completely self-contained like this one. I would expect them to at least get some learnings out of it before building the next iteration.
Yeah, I would expect the next Gigabay to be built in Florida before another one goes here.
Because strangely, having two bays that they can do more of their bespoke vehicle development might be, especially for HLS and tankers and stuff, might be better.
Right on. And then Booster Forward Dome, who's been an RGV flight supporter for 32 months, says, "Hey, thanks for all you do. Keep it up." And Jab Kuipers, a member for the last 35 months, an early access member for the last 35 months, says, "You're doing great, Matt. In fact, all of chat has been giving you mad compliments, Matt. You're doing a great job."
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I was saying, I've got a little bit of experience with doing the expanded, so it's not so bad. But again, I'm just not as up to speed on these areas, so I just feel a little ill prepared.
Hey, you've kept us out of most rabbit holes, so.
Yeah, and you didn't know about
that's what ignorance does for you, you know.
And the guardrails are still intact.
Woot woot.
And that's it for the questions and donations so far.
All right. So I guess we will head over to the launch site then.
There's nothing to see there.
Nothing,
Alex,
nothing at
happy
all.
days. Happy days, Alex. Happy days.
No way!
I
My building.
figured you'd like me to start here.
My
Yes.
favorite building got demoed.
Now
Carl finally came back.
Now we're just waiting for one more building to get demoed, and we'll all be happy.
Well, you see, on the plan they put out, they had this building staying and that one going away. Obviously, they confused which building was what.
Right. But yeah, jump for joy. Let's have a party afterwards, right?
So happy. Once that glycol tank goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that. So here at Pad 1, we are seeing a ton of work starting to happen. A lot more of the digging out of the trench now. We're seeing all the pile caps and everything being exposed little by little. And we're getting ready to see the last bit of the GSC support area being poured.
A little bit to go.
Yeah, we did see this one get finished off the week before. And yeah, just a little bit further to go, and we'll be able to see this frame kind of start getting swung over into place.
2 weeks. Let's see. Then we have them setting up the embeds for the flame trench. Right there.
Yeah.
So everything they're doing with this is to speed up the whole rebar layout, and
It's a neat piece.
yeah, they'll just set these down and put the rebar around it and call it good.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah, it's just like they changed the bolt inlet. I'm sure it was covered last week for the speed core. They changed how they're bolting it down to bolting inside rather than on the outer edge.
Mm.
They added a row of Nelson studs to the
Ooh.
to those as well. Yay! More death.
Revel in it.
I'm gonna laugh at you guys if they stop there and leave the rest of it up.
Right.
I mean, still half is better than none. A quarter is better than none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're slowly adding more and more pieces in here. As we can see, they're starting to put the steel decking in for the different levels.
Kind of surprising.
Yeah, they've been adding a bunch of stuff, basically, like all these little adapter plates and some of the steel decking. So yeah, little by little, they're just adding more and more weight.
Well, all those plates are just where the equipment is bolted or welded down to.
Yeah, for sure. We see another piece getting ready to be concreted.
Short timer create.
Mm-hmm. Still the same amount of wall panels as we saw. There's a few here and the rest sitting over here.
Yep. But I mean, like I was saying, they're doing a lot to speed up the installation time.
Absolutely. Makes sense. I learned a lot with Pad 2 or Pad B or whatever you want to call it.
In
Yeah,
Florida,
39.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and Florida, yep. Much more rebar and cages being put together over here.
Yeah, they're just trying to optimize the trench construction.
We still haven't seen them do anything with these that we noticed like 2 months ago.
I get a feeling those are going to show up once the trench is mostly done.
Yeah, it would make sense.
And it looks like they're put the pad in, or the crane pad to roll it forward. So they're probably going to be pulling off the old SQD arm.
Yep.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we knew
saw
that was
some
coming.
gear delivered after last week's flyover.
Kill it. I'm
With-
just sad
with
they
fire.
can't just drop it into the pit.
That's why they're digging it out, give it a little more velocity.
Well, they tried to kill it with fire 11 times and it stayed on.
It refuses to die.
It's like that old dog with one crutched leg and one eye.
Yep.
By the way, Steph's in chat and she says hello. And Matt, you're doing a great job. She echoes again what everybody's been saying.
Thanks, Steph. Appreciate it. Hope everything's going well over there. So here we are at this area, and we can see they are putting the new roof together, slowly but surely. They've moved all the pieces over here, all the cladding and everything, and they are getting it going.
Moved, dragged.
Dubbed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yesterday we saw them working on top of the tower, so they're actively getting it ready.
Yeah, I know we saw a bunch of these connecting pieces and stuff kind of moved and swapped around and added in, basically getting ready for the new roof.
The Home Depot gate's back.
No.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh,
You
Todd?
you guys gotta stop.
Nope.
There's two of them to choose from.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Beware, Alex. That's what happens when you have to walk the plank and you've been naughty.
I mean, it's a great view till you hit the ground.
It's not. Yeah. It's a great it's not.
I can see my house from.
Exactly. You think it'd be a soft landing since it's dirt?
Yeah.
I don't think you'd know.
At least you know how all those bugs that hit your windshield felt.
Yeah.
Well, it is on a water plate. It might be a little spongy.
Hmm.
There we go. There's a good one. So we saw these two tanks come in this week as well. They had been installed just after our flyover last week. So those are kind of in, ready to be hooked up. We saw that the pile drilling rig has been taken out, so it has finished its work. And we're seeing some stand mounts going in over here for more tanks. So looking forward to seeing how many are going to get chucked into this area.
Thought they had room for 10 tanks in this area. I think there's 8 that aren't accounted for currently. From counting the piles that they put in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd imagine they're going to start getting here pretty quick at this point as well.
It's probably just the 2 more methane, and those other 2 that are there are probably nitrogen.
Let's see here. So we also did see this area getting torn up as of last week, and looks like they've pretty much gotten most of the concrete out.
Cool. They'll be able to start working on the new pump farm.
It's going to be interesting to see, that's for sure. All right, we'll head over to the ASU real quick. So we saw a lot more of the conduit being finished, being put together and ran to their respective locations. Still a long way to go as well, though. We've got all the conduit that is coming out of here. That should be coming out and around the corner to run to these 3 boxes. And there's still a few more connections as well that need to be put together in here, but practically done. And then we still need to see the water pipes connected as well across the entrance.
That's just mind blowing to me. Like, how do you know which pipe goes under which and which one goes on top of which? And it's just, yeah, I don't know.
It's called an electrical blueprint.
Yeah, but
still, and they're very difficult to read. So yes, no, I mirror what you say.
I can read ETMs, but mine are all colored, and the color's pretty much right out in the open. It's just gray pipe on top of gray pipe, but then make sure it wraps around the gray pipe before it goes under the gray pipe.
Exactly, just like that. See, you already got it figured out.
Yeah.
Well done, Todd. All you need is a little butter.
Right.
There you go. With your spaghetti.
Then it'll just slide right in.
Yeah, the cable loop.
So yeah,
I will not use the colloquial for that something butter, but yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, so as we can see a little bit better from this angle, we've got the water pipes coming out, and they still need to be connected to these pipes right here. But they got a lot done this week, that's for sure. I just tell you, I would not want to be on the wire pulling crew for this area. My gosh.
Why? You go into one of the vaults, and on one side you shove a shop vac in, and
yep, you take your shop vac.
Yeah.
The other side, a string with a little baggie on the end.
Just pull it through.
Yeah, see, those are easy, but it's the pulling of the wires. That's where we start getting a little more difficult.
You get your mule tape, get a winch, get some boy butter.
Get some Todd on it?
Yeah. Well, the good thing is I don't think most of those are, well, except for the main power cables, those would be no fun at all to pull.
For
but
sure.
The control stuff, oh yeah, there's like three cables per conduits.
Yeah, some of those are definitely easy pulls, that's for sure.
Until they're not.
Until you hit a corner that wasn't put together correctly.
Yeah. You didn't deburr it. Yeah.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got the compressor building really taking shape very well here. You got a couple of what look like vents on the top, I'd imagine.
Yep, a little access.
Yeah, we've got more pipe work coming together here to connect everything.
And the water line and a little heat exchanger, because, if any of that, you have some cold nitrogen, you might as well vaporize it to cool some water down.
Sure, why not?
It helps your efficiency quite a bit, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So
So now, do you think we'll see some of this area being covered as well, or will they keep it open like this?
this can be open like this. I mean, this is
So they were
Right.
just closing up some of these like intersections?
yeah, the areas that's going to be cryogenic temperatures, they close up. Everything out here is going to be above freezing for the most part,
Gotcha.
up to a couple hundred degrees when they're doing their temperature swing on those adsorption columns, when they're regenerating the adsorption medium and they're sending hot nitrogen through it.
How's chat going, Indy? Any questions so far for the couple of areas we've covered?
Yep, got lots of questions for you guys.
Let's make it happen.
Okay, we want to thank Felix for his $10 donation, and he says for some more flight time. Thank you so much for your donation. And then we have some questions for you guys. Stellar String Violin was wondering what upgrades have we seen on Pad 2 sticks recently?
Let's hold off till we get to Pad 2.
I thought we did it. Sorry, my bad. Well, then we don't have much on the ASU. Everything is about the QDR. It's about Pad 2 and Pad 1.
All right, we did Pad 1, basically.
Yeah.
So Nal Banding is asking that he saw a new methane or oxygen plant, not sure which, was right in the path of Pad 1 exhaust plume. He wants to know, is that risky in any way?
So, yeah, let me kind of show that a little bit. So I think we're talking about, is he talking about these tanks or these?
Or is it the liquefaction area?
Because I know they're kind of getting rid of this area. Let me see if I can get a better shot.
Are they?
I think it's the other side because he's
Aren't they
saying that
they're gonna move this all out? Oh, the other side?
Yeah, because he says it's in the exhaust plume path.
Well, those tanks are in the plume, would be in the line of fire. I mean, granted, those two large tanks survived multiple launches from Pad 1 previously.
You got a wide shot, Matt, of the...
That's what I'm looking for right now to try to get a better shot here.
Me personally, I don't think anything in the range of the exit, the ramp that exit out, is a good idea. But I'm assuming that if they do end up with something there when it's said and done, that the engineers figured out it was safe. But I mean, obviously, we even know a wall is not safe when it's around that exit path. So
a wall that
yeah,
was designed for handling that that
true.
load.
But I doubt those tanks were designed to handle that hit, even though they did survive launches from Pad 1 previously. It's, I don't know, it's a direct angle right at it now.
Right, and if you put a kick and a blast wall, it'll probably be okay. Famous last words.
Here we go.
Yeah, so if they're talking about the area behind the trench...
Yeah, because he talks about that he saw a new methane or oxygen plant, not sure which was right in the path of Pad 1 exhaust plume. I saw a wall in the blueprints, but is that not quite risky anyways?
Again, these are us engineers who are... It'd be a bad screw up, like career-ending screw up, to design something that wouldn't be able to handle.
Yeah, what we saw at Pad 2, that perimeter wall that they had up, that was not a common thing.
And that wall, wasn't even designed for taking most of those loads, because it originally was, if I remember right, almost just a privacy wall.
Yeah, it was actually more of just to keep the fill in more than anything.
All right, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to be back in like 15 seconds.
Yeah, I believe that wall, the first one was like started at Heskel barriers, and I think the Heskel barriers were still in there when they tore it down, and they just put up a bunch of concrete around it, and then stepped it up, and then stepped it out, and stepped it up a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original pad 1 wall, pretty much. But then the over at the whatchamacallit, at the end of the pad 2 trench where the wall got knocked down, pretty sure that was originally built just to keep all the fill in during construction.
And
Yeah,
I'm
you're
back.
right.
And there's a good chance that was a direct plume hit from the exhaust, not after it's hit the deflector.
Right.
Because when leaving that pad, when it pitches over, the plume went across the ground. After the launch, you could see where it went, ended up on the dirt, and it passed directly over that wall where it collapsed. So
yeah, that's a good shot of the wall right there being replaced.
yeah, right where the SQD shadow is, that little patch of dried, that's a tower, but the little part that's jutting out towards the wall, it's in that very area that just a little bit to the left and down. The plume actually was in contact with the ground across there after it pitched over. So that was a direct impact from the plume. That wasn't de-energized by any of the deluge. So
All right. Sergeant Vash is wondering, are they digging out around the pylons to pour concrete around them?
the piles, the way they do it, they set the piles, and since they drilled it at ground surface, you dig down to the depths and you cut the piles to that point. The ones that they placed post pad 1 won't have any rebar up to that height, and you just cut it off. But since they're reusing a lot of the previous piles, there is a lot of rebar in it, so it's a little bit more work when they're removing them and cropping them down to the actual pile cap height. So most of the piles that you see in the trench as they're digging out, that portion is not structural in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, as soon as they're finished digging out the trench, they're going to weave a rebar pile cap mat that'll be the floor of the flame trench.
Okay. And then IB12 Us wants to know, do you think they'll move? Last Night Online wants to know, will they be replacing the entire QD arm?
If they do what they did for 39A, they'll just remove it and change where its connection point, and obviously the old cloth, the portion will be removed and replaced.
Yeah, the main shoulder should just get modified, but the front elbow and forearm will be redone.
All right. And then IB12 Us wants to know, do you think they will move the outside stairs inside the tower like Tower 2?
Not likely.
I think they will.
One yay, one nay.
Oh, I hate to agree with Alex, but I guess I'm going to have to. Yeah, I don't think so either.
You just made a horrible mistake, Todd.
All right.
He did preface it by saying he hates to agree with you.
I don't blame him. I hate thinking. No.
Tony UG wants to know, was it a big thing that there was a separate walled area around the CH-4 tanks for spillage in the past, yet no sign at the moment?
Massey's, they have no containment around any of their methane farm.
Yeah, I used to think it was a code that they had to do, but yeah, since Massey's, I don't believe that anymore. So I guess it's okay by their standards.
There's a lot of folklore around the original tank farm. I'll just leave it at that.
And then Last Night Online also wants to know, for the first ship catch at Starbase, he personally doubts that they will have both towers ready for catch. Do you suspect that they will expend another booster for this?
I don't. To clarify that, with ships, we know currently they have a 48-hour loiter time, which is more than enough time for them to land a booster, set it on set it on the OLMD tank, save it, and then move it to a transport stand and get it out of the way.
Yeah, on this one, I agree with Darth. I don't know what Alex is going to say, but I agree with Darth.
Orbital dynamics, them doing one orbit and catching would be a interesting approach. I mean, the launch site moves a couple thousand miles from where it was after the ship does one orbit. So,
if I remember back to the Thomas days, him talking about it takes 4 orbits to have a reasonably least amount of fuel type situation to land back at the same spot.
I mean, it's easier to go 12 hour. I could figure it out, but I don't remember off the top of my head. It's also how much cross range they have. 4 orbits seems a little light. And also what approach that they're cleared to if you're coming on the uphill or the downhill leg of your orbit.
Yeah, that makes sense. It was a while ago when we had those talks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, because depending which way you're coming, you'd either be coming up from across California down, which I think they're approved on, which is more of the downhill leg than the opposite. You'd be coming the other direction.
Slight, I guess, different interpretation. GG says 3 orbits. 3 orbits, 4.5 hours is about a minimum. And then the rest are questions about KSC and your opinion. So we can wait until you do pad 2.
For sure. And we might not be able to get to some of the random questions either. I have roughly about a half an hour left, and then I absolutely do have to go to my second job. So while we are on this picture, we did see this trench beginning to be put in last week, and having conduit kind of stacked outside of it. And as of this week, we're basically seeing it finished and starting to be covered over and filled back in. I heard Steph say possibly temporary power for this area for right now. Any thoughts, Alex?
I don't think they'd be running temp power like that.
Me either, honestly.
I think it's more of controlling it, because I mean that's a sump and a lot of telemetry. Some of it goes back to the main, but yeah, I think that's purposeful.
For sure. I mean, and they've still got a lot of work to do in here. It would be kind of unwise to muddy the waters, so to say, with something temporary like that.
Yeah, that building is probably not long for this world.
And is basically why she was kind of thinking it might be temporary power just for this to run it until they're ready to knock it down.
or they're tying into the existing power that they have there as it goes back to other sections of the site. They're
Mhm.
going to need power there anyway. I'm pretty sure they have an electrical plan that covers the entire site, and yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
That
think you
area
would
will.
go on, Darts.
I was just going to say that area will need a lot of power if the plans stay true, where they're going to put the deluge farm and the heat exchangers for the tank farm expansion.
All right, so we'll get back to our pictures here. Let's see where we're up to. We finished the ASU basically. Didn't talk about this area, but as you can see, not a lot of work going on. Not much change to really point out currently.
Outlets to connect to the heat exchangers on the roof
Right.
when they put the cooling towers up.
All right, over to pad 2. So there's a little bit closer look to see where those runs are coming in at.
And I believe some of them go underneath to the sump as well. I think there's more than just those 3 that pop up there.
Yeah, you can see one off to the
Yeah.
left that goes straight under.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the little dirt berms that they had protecting the sump, they removed.
Right, and yeah, you can see that they've kind of dug under for sure.
Yeah, into that sump that they put in
Mm-hmm.
before the first flight here.
Yeah, and this was that section that we saw get modified recently as well. I think it was cut across like this, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they dug that out. They put a sump, they put a pump in,
Right.
and some other accoutrement in that hole.
And speaking of the wall we were talking about before, they are working on putting in that foundation, getting that all laid out, and making sure it doesn't fall down again.
They do is they cross their fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, on the chopstick arms, we are seeing more supports slowly being welded in as well, as we started to notice last week, some very small doubler plates and stuff going in.
And then going back to that question we had earlier, the lightening of the landing rails of one of the major changes they made.
Yeah, so they did replace these landing rails as of last week that we saw in the pictures. And they had basically speed holes cut into them to lighten them up. And as Ryan Weber had pointed out, they had taken off basically 750 pounds per side, roughly. So 750 for the front and rear. So 1,500 pounds per chopstick removed. And all those old sections and everything have been taken away. Likely to languish in the airport lot forever and ever.
There's worse fates.
We also did see some trench work coming in here.
Just want to laugh. Say goodbye to the tower vent.
Nice.
I hear a bugle in the background.
Oops. Guess they love their LOX cannons so much, they'd rather have more LOX cannons than LOX waterfalls.
There you go. So this is what I was talking about, where I should have noticed it when we were over at Starship Park. So they are finally starting to work on whatever building situation they're going to have going on here, and it will be a brick wall. As we can see, they're starting to mortar and mud and get it up. We're also seeing a lot of progress going on with the new wall to replace this section.
Oh, they couldn't just make that building track with the wall, parallel to the wall, could they? They just no. I think keep it off just a tiny bit.
No, they totally can't, Todd. It's
Right.
It's what they're good at.
I was going to say, I don't know if you noticed, but symmetry is not their forte.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It's parallel with the whatchamacallit area. So
Purging.
that
The other wall. Okay, well, we can do that.
Isolation and purging, it's parallel and perpendicular to the H-frame.
Nope.
Very interesting. Yeah, and we're seeing more form work and finalizing going on here. I think we're kind of thinking that this is probably where the security building will be, somewhere in this area.
Or it'll be a return, just like they have on the adjacent side.
Yeah, totally could be.
It seems to mirror the same angle of that little wing wall they put in has as well.
Yeah, we've got the bollards in the ground, which possibly likely will be getting extended, maybe. They've kind of finished up these two tops and are now completely using them, as we can see. There's one.
There's two.
Another.
They're the third one.
There's another.
They're all excited.
And another. Two, actually. One looks like it crashed into the other.
Well, the bottom is just the scout.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I joke, I kid.
it's all good. So, y'all talked about them finishing the rails on the QD arm last week, right? The up on the QD arm.
Oh yeah, up here.
Oh, those are fancy.
Yeah.
Yep, now you can walk and not have OSHA scream at you.
Not me.
That's right. Todd needs his gate.
Todd needs his fan.
I would Todd on the yeah, I'll stay on the ground. Let me know how it looks up there.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Noping all over the place.
Wow.
So if I can find the picture, that kind of shows it. So we are seeing painting going on along the backside again now.
It's about time.
Oh, good.
There we go.
They're going with primer first.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Because the primer held up much better than their paint did, looking at the QD hoods.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe this one will be a little more sticky.
That's called surface prep.
Exactly.
So I don't care what coating you use, you don't do the right surface prep, it's not sticking.
100%. They're welders and construction guys, not body shop workers. They got to be taught these things.
I mean, next you're going to say, just put a wrap on it.
Yeah. Yeah, vinyl's the way to go.
Seriously.
If they put a stainless steel looking wrap, then it'll be safe, right?
Obviously.
100%. Just make sure you put the rivets on as well.
There it is.
So let's see. Anything else at pad 2 that we are missing?
Depends on how much detail.
Not much. I've got 15 minutes.
From the pictures, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I know that they've done most of the skates, if not all the skates by now, have been replaced. But picture-wise, it's like it doesn't look like much has changed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just as we always say, that extra 20%, those final little touches and stuff, most of the time you don't see it, but they are necessary, and they take a lot of time.
Yeah, it's mainly just the upgrades, the sticks that have been going on. I haven't really seen any work on the mount itself.
Sticks are getting a whole lot of love, scaffolding love.
They are. The scafungus has grown. And down in the lower area of the expansion.
Alex, you see what I see?
Which one?
The We Build Better.
Oh, they're back. Performance made it back.
Yep.
Thankfully.
Not much to
We
really
needed-
talk about here.
Yeah, they're just getting ready. Now that performance is back, I expect to see a whole bunch of plumbing and other welding stuff going on in this area.
For sure. For sure.
Is
Yeah,
that
and
a
it
part-
seems to be why they're kind of putting up the walls and stuff as well.
Is that a piece of pad scraps deck all pitted up on the top by that white van?
Ooh.
Oh, I want that. I really, really want that.
But why is it there? Yeah, I agree. I'd take that too in a second. But why that? Why there?
Because somebody is going to take it.
Yeah.
That's why they're putting up the walls so nobody sees them take it.
There's the dibs section. I've got dibs. Put it in the section.
Yeah. Don't look at me. What's in my white van?
Yeah.
I need a push. I'm sinking in the dirt.
That's why the launch mount van is right next to it. So they always have somebody watching it.
Guarding it.
Right. Yeah, other than that, not really too much to talk about here in this section. I mean, we did see that pad poured, I think, 2 weeks ago, I believe, maybe 3. Other than that, we've seen all of these sections kind of hanging out here, and yeah.
I say we go for questions and get you out of here, Matt.
Yeah, we're pretty much at the end, basically. So, yeah. Questions and donations for the end, and we'll take it.
Start off with the donation. We want to thank Martin for another £2 donation, and he says, choo choo. The rest of the questions are, well, we answered the one about the sticks. There's one about chances of plume or shockwave impingement on the air separation plant, and are they mitigating it somehow? Obelisk is asking.
It's pretty far away. Yeah, if the plume impacts it that hard from that distance, the tank farm wouldn't survive.
Yeah, and according to the plans, there should be a wall, a ramp, something to kick it up and over even higher.
And real quick, Indy, before your next one, I do want to make a slight correction. So we were talking about the weight savings on the chopstick rails, and that was actually Ryan Hansen that had said it, not Ryan Weber. So that was my mistake.
Yeah, he also pointed out that the left one has it extended where the right one doesn't. On the very end.
You are correct.
Ryan is correct.
Yes. Absolutely. Good catch, Ryan.
Dean is wondering what happened to the blackened corner of the top deck, corner closest to the tower, and was there ever a cause determined for that black spot?
I believe that
The
was another thing that Ryan Hansen kind of thought that might be a plume spot. Alex?
it's a bit of a plume spot, but most of the color discoloration is more of an artifact of than it's looking as black. If you look around, there's the color gradation. It's a heat. It heated with a plume. I mean, expecting the surface not to heat into gas oxidation state and change colors is kind of naive. It's stainless steel. It will maintain its structural integrity to well over 1,000 degrees, so there's no point in cooling it. You don't have to keep it at temperatures that it's not going to oxidize a bit from the plume. So you could, but that'd just be sort of wasting resources. So it's going to show up. The structure is going to show a patina was used. Let's just leave it at that.
Next, Indy.
Nicholas is wondering why would SpaceX build a flame diverter? Why would SpaceX build the flame diverter at Boca Chica when they're building the launch mount for SLC-37 in Florida, especially since they're already mass producing the skids for the tank farms? For all the launch sites to date in Florida, given that SpaceX owns Hangar M, couldn't they just build the flame diverter there?
If they have the tooling and the crew here, and they already have, so far they've only built the apexes at Boca. This site in Florida where they were building the skids that is owned by Blue Origin right now. So where it's currently stationed is unknown, and where that there's no mass producing the skids is it's where you have the talent. It's in your some tooling, but which is the same reason why they're building the apexes here, is they have the talent, the tooling for building those is working out of Starbase.
Yeah, I believe the apexes are the only things being built here. The diverters themselves will be built somewhere in Florida, and the skids, I believe they moved that manufacturing to Roberts Road.
Yeah. It's just like there's a bunch of components that are coming from McGregor as well. So it depends what division has the talent that does that work.
Even
Yeah,
though
pretty
SpaceX
sure.
does it,
What, Todd?
I was gonna say, even though SpaceX has the money to hire anybody and everything they could want, they don't have the manpower to do that yet. I don't think there's the talent in all the places yet. They can build it, but what they have in those places now are currently people who have done it, can do it, and will do it again. So use what you got where you got it.
Yeah. And for them, talent's more expensive than logistics for shipping. And if you have the logistics of getting all the material to one location and the people there to assemble it, shipping the final product is an acceptable business cost.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Absolutely.
sure all the pre-assembled flame bucket pieces we're seeing are coming from McGregor.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen previous flights for a long time where they have just mass produced those bent deluge pipes.
All right, Indy. Any more?
There are a couple more, but they're a little bit longer. So Nal Bandin is wondering, what's the educated guess from RGV panel when they could start building boosters and ships at KSC?
Quick answers only.
Couple years at least.
If they want to ship sections and stack them, then next year.
Yeah, 12 months minimum. Realistically, closer to 24.
L for one wants to know what's the estimation of how SpaceX installs engines, i.e., employees per engine and how many engine crews.
Let me grab
Yeah,
my magic 8 ball.
I'm not sure on that one.
It's that one number, you know? Yeah, we're just not
Yeah,
sure
we'll get
on that.
back to
We're
that.
just not sure on that one. Sorry.
I will get back to you as soon as we know more. And then Taryn is asking, how do you think they'll do pad rocket maintenance once the cadence per pad gets really high in the future? Like rockets and launch pads are much harder to manage than airplanes and stuff, no?
it's hard to
Alex?
say. I mean, you see how you said the rockets, correct?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at Falcon 9 and how long, basically it's a learning process for how fast you can speed up the refurb and how many years it took. I mean, probably say it takes them 2 months to do a rocket, maybe 20% reduction a year for their learning pace. And that's just wildly spitballing.
Right, because right now, I think the fastest SpaceX has turned around a Falcon 9 booster is about 2 weeks, and normally it's closer to a month for those turnaround times.
So yeah, a lot of it is also the unknown unknowns. You don't know what portion's going to have the highest maintenance budget, and for the ships, it would appear it's going to be the heat shield, and that'll pretty much dictate everything. How long the heat shield lasts between needing major refurbishments or replacements, since those
Yeah,
tiles
right.
do have a very finite lifetime. Go on, Darth.
Yeah, I was going to say right now, I know they've said, SpaceX has actually said that the first ship they plan to reuse will probably need about a 6 month refurb time.
And
So, being the first time, you're going to expect it to take long, but as they go through the process, it'll shorten.
yeah, and the expectation is at some point you'll have an inflection point where the amount of time and cost of refurbing will be cheaper than replacing. So they'll probably be trashing more ships at first than will seem sensible. But if you know it costs you more money to refurb, and then you can only have so many crews working on refurbishments and figuring out, hey, how do we optimize and how do we speed up this process? It's sort of how many of those experiments do you need to be running concurrently, where it's just we'll just expend vehicles.
Perfect. I think we have time for one more.
All right, Taryn is also asking, what about the pads? Because if they're doing all 3 launches a day, then when do they get the time to do the maintenance on the pad?
The pad honestly should be a almost zero touch once they've figured it out. So the main thing is going to be the fact that they have multiple pads to rotate.
Yeah, they're going to have 5 pads and say they're going to be trying to do 3 launches. And that's part of the optimization. And so what is happening with pad B versus 39, 37, or pad A or one of them you're going to want intentionally to be on the low end of how much, let's say, water you're using. So you're accelerating the wear rate so that you can see how fast it wears out quicker. because one of the optimizations you're going to want to do is what's the minimum amount of expendables you use per launch. So maybe the 400,000 gallons that they're using per launch, they can go, oh, but if we're only using 300, that allows it'll wear out, but not. So you need to find what's the happy spot is. So, and how far between major refurbishments. But for the most part, the pad itself, they should not have to do much maintenance between launches. At least that's the target goal, because it's sort of like you get in your car, you drive away. What you did at the turn of if in a Model T versus what you would do in a Tesla is completely different.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that's about everything on the questions, Indy. So perfect. So it looks like we will wrap it up then. So, yeah, I've been Matt. I really appreciate everybody sticking with me for my first time, and all the support in the chat. Really appreciate it. And thank you, Alex, my right-hand man, for helping out today.
No worries. It was fun. You did a great job, and you'll host it more often.
Yeah, we'll see. And Josh, appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Same with Darth.
Greatest time as always.
And my better butter baby, Todd.
Thanks for having me, Matt. I had a good time. Yeah, you did a great job, man. I think it was good.
Thanks so much, guys. And of course, Indy Star for taking care of questions and donations and really throwing it down in the chat.
Most welcome. Hope to see you guys on Tuesday for the expanded show.
Yeah, so speaking of coming up, we do have the expanded show on Tuesday where we will go on to and talk about all the further exterior support facilities and some of the things like land swaps and environmental reports and all that good stuff. And I will be hosting that as well this week. So look forward to that Tuesday at 6 p.m. And we also do have our next flyover scheduled for Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Time. So look forward to that too, where we're going to get updates again on what's going on in and around Starbase, Texas. So with that, most engines cut off, hot staging confirmed. Love you, bye.